That's a great song from Luke Combs to any father who's got a grown son now and grew up with him hunting, because or fishing for that matter. Let me get to Lynn Posey, Executive Director, Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Turkey hunting sometimes, or duck hunting. Rabbit hunting's okay, but trying to keep them quiet in a deer stand sometimes is a far gone. It never works out.
I've lived that, Paul. I know exactly what we're talking about there.
It's a great song. Luke Combs, and I don't think that's new. I think he's had that out for a while. We are all brothers in camo this morning. I thank you for coming in, and let's get a little update now. Dove season has just passed. I shouldn't pass. It's on. However, we have very few people who hunt doves past the first one or second weekend.
It is. It's a time of year for everybody to get the camo and get outside and take advantage of all the resources Mississippi State has to offer. And you look like you just come out of the field this morning, Paul, so you're ready to go.
Somebody just said that my camo was the new kind. Lance's was World War II combat. I'm not sure what yours is, but I mean, we do have some history as far as camo in our state with Mossy Oak developing their own. So it's a little bit of a history there.
I have Mossy Oak on this morning.
The velvet hunt is where does it stand? And tell me the news on that.
Well, you mentioned dove. Let me just say we had a good opening season, dove season, and we want to thank the sportsmen for getting out there. Sportsmen and women get out there and purchasing their license. It's our what funds our agency, and we can use those license dollars to match our federal dollars, get about a 3-1 rate there. So we're very thankful for folks who get out there and buy the license. Ask them to keep doing that. That dove season kind of kicked it off. It's still open. There'll be 3 seasons of opportunity to hunt dove for a long time. And like I say, most folks take advantage of that opening day or weekend there. And just let your audience know, it was not our idea to open it on Sunday morning. It was a federal regulation. We couldn't open it prior to that, so we opened it as soon as we could. It just happened to fall on a Sunday. But we're moving from dove season. Right now we've got alligator season going on. I've already caught some big ones. It'll go a few more days, and on public lands, and then private lands go even a little longer there. So if you got your permit, get out there and get one. And you talked about velvet season. That's turned into a pretty big deal for us and sportsmen here. It's going to be the 13th through the 15th of September. I want to remind everybody to make sure you get your $10 permit for residents to get out there, and if you kill one, we want to get a CWD sample out of that, and make sure you telecheck that animal. You need to do all 3 of those things, or you could be subject to forfeiting your trophy you got there. So,
Lynn, what's the regulations as far as the weapon? Is it a bow and arrow, or is it firearm, or what are we talking about?
No, it's strictly a bow hunt.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Of course, crossbows are legal as well, but and any type of bow. And of course, it's also a velvet hunt, and all the same restrictions that require on the deer as it is during the regular season, as far as the size and width and that sort of thing. So, get there and find you a trophy out there. They're there.
Does anybody ask you, could you take a doe during that season?
I don't think you're supposed to be shooting a doe during the season. We're just trying to do a velvet season.
Yes.
And we've got plenty of opportunity to take does later on, though. It won't be long. We roll right from that into regular bow season. That's when you can get your does. And then we even have antler receivings from November the 11th through the 22nd. That you opportunity to kill does early, and we hope folks kill does early and lots of them.
I was going to say, is that same advice we had last year to go on and take a deer out there because of the number of deer we have?
It is. We have a large number of deer, and we need to harvest as many as we can, as early as we can. Especially.
Is that all over the state, or is it one place in more particular than others?
It's not consistent all over the state, but I think it's consistently a large number of deer all over the state. Some areas have more than others, but I think that's not a spot that I'm aware of. It doesn't need to be some deer harvested.
Let me ask you this: why is a dove in our state classified as a migratory bird?
That's going to have to be a question for some of the federal people. That's the way they got put in there years ago, and they harvest them at will in Argentina and places like that. But it's highly restrictive here, and we're under a lot of federal regulations as to how the fields are prepared and how many you can kill, that type of thing.
Did we have a lot of different species of doves killed this year, like the white-collared dove, or was it mostly the mourning dove?
I didn't hear a lot of talk about different species. I'm sure there were some killed, but we did have several good hunts that I'm aware of around the state, and very few citations issued. Our guys don't like to issue citations. We don't get a dime from issuing anybody. We try to educate the folks about how to go out there and do your hunting properly, and that's what we're all about.
Do you get a kind of a report on Monday morning of some of the fines and things that happened?
Yes, sir, I do. But it was minor at this time. We had a few infractions, and the ones that occurred, sometimes they're really almost accidental. Folks think they're doing the right thing, but then it turns out, well, you've overstepped your boundary there just a little bit. And maybe you shouldn't have enticed the field just as much as you did.
And we had him on last week or week before last. I think it was last week. Kenny Prince with his new book, and he was talking about the trafficking of things like crappie and deer, and how much that was going on in the old days. Is that still a problem in our state?
Absolutely, absolutely. It goes on every day. It would amaze you the trafficking in fish and game, and it's still out there.
Some people coming across the state line, or just some of the folks in our own state using nets and things like that to catch crappie?
It's mostly out-of-state folks who come in and try to maybe take advantage of the white perch fishing that we have and take them back, and they use them in restaurants and things of that nature. So we have to keep an eye on that because we have some of the best crappie fishing there is in the nation, and we want to be very protective of that.
What are some of the other news going on from the department?
Well, like I say, it's that time again, and all the sportsmen and women out here are excited about the turning into fall and cool weather, and of course you got a little football action going on as well, and fishing. But primarily, folks are looking at hunting seasons. We roll from the velvet season into bow season, and youth season is right around the corner from there, and that's a big weekend for getting kids in the woods, and we try to stress that because we want to bring this new generation into hunting and fishing and keep the tradition going here in Mississippi.
Now, I'm sure you've been on some of the alligator hunts.
I have. I've been to a few of them over the years. I did not make one this year, but we issue about roughly 1,000 permits or so every year, and very strict on how we draw them, and we wind up getting about, usually 980 or so gators taken and turned in over the course of the folks who actually get the permits to get out there and hunt them.
By the way, and I forgot to tell Lance this, I think next week one of the young ladies who was on that hunt from that famous picture that went worldwide, holding that big gator, I think she's going to join us next week.
That was quite a catch. That almost broke a record. It was right 802 pounds, I believe, and right at a little over 14 feet, so almost a new state record.
It just looked like if you just measured the head by record, it looked like the head of that sucker was a record.
It did. It was an awful big-headed gator.
I think we were talking, Dias mentioned yesterday, dinosaur record on that one, but it was absolutely remarkable. Well, as far as the game preserves, the public hunting, any changes there?
We'll be operating our WMAs as usual this time, and we'll try to get them fixed up for our hunters. So we've already started working on that. We've always tried to plant some food plots in our WMAs and make them available, make them the best they can be for the sportsmen that are here again. Make sure they get a permit to go in and hunt the WMAs and have all your license in place. But we'll have them ready for them.
I do want to ask you about some of the state parks and how far we've come on those already, because there's some exciting things. I saw a couple of pictures of them, and they look like nice hotels. So we'll talk about that when we come back with Lynn Posey in just a moment. Let us get back with Lynn Posey, and Bubba in Starkville wants me to ask you, I've never heard of this, ask him about loud mud boats. Is there a state law mandating the use of mufflers on all outboard motors? Loud mud boats. I have no idea what a mud boat is.
Well, it's actually a motor that just kind of designed to run in shallow water, and I don't know. Most of the folks have some type of muffler on those boats, but they can be awful loud at times. And I don't know that we actually have a restriction on them, but it's just mostly a point that at some point in time it's just loud enough you can't stand it, so you're gonna have to fix it yourself.
Yeah, it used in shallow water, right? The long prop. I understand what you. That's a mud boat. Okay. Yeah. I could see where in duck season that would be kind of disturbing.
I can see if it was real loud. I mean, the normal mud boats, as you would call them, are not loud, and then you can use them to get back where you want to get back, and then shut them down and do your duck hunting.
Well, maybe the same legislation that takes in the squatters on the vehicles, we could probably take care of that in the 2025 session.
Well, it'll be here before you know it, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention and thank the legislature for what they did for us this last session. The governor, lieutenant governor, and speaker, and legislative members were all good to us in a number of ways. We very much appreciate that and be ready to go here full on.
Let's talk about state parks. Are we making an advance on that?
We are. We've every day we're trying to do something new and different in the state parks. We started off with about 5 of them. We're completely through with a couple of them, and we're getting close to being through with a few more of them. And then we're headed on. We've started some incremental work in some of the other ones. We have a total of 25 state parks. We don't run all of them, but I think we run about 21 of the 25. And here again, the legislature and working through the Senate and the House, they've been tremendous partners in this operation and give us the money to get in there and really do it right. We're looking at doing every park, a total remake of the park from the infrastructure to making sure you got a good spot on the side of the lake that you can see a long ways.
Lynn, do you have, as far as people running that, do you have to be a member of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks as a game warden or an employee, or do you contract out do you have people there checking people in, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of our, a good number of park personnel are assigned to, each of the respective parks, and we have folks who check folks in who check the license that they're fishing, and we have folks who make sure you bought that permit and everything it takes to run a good park and have a good operation. We've just recently put in a new park reservation system. We're proud of the way that's working, and we think it's going to go a long way to making it more advantageous and easier for our folks to get their park reservations made and where they want them made at.
Yeah, I heard about that, and got some feedback on it, saying it was a heck of a lot better now than it's ever been. The other part of that is, do you delineate on or just post that on your website which ones have been refurbished?
We have a website for strictly state parks. Parks has a Facebook page. Encourage everyone to go look at the Facebook page, visit our new website, all the information there. We've revamped our entire social media operation there at the department, and we feel like we're about to get on the cutting edge of social media, and just a lot of information out there for the hunting, fishing, camping, bird watching public to take advantage of.
The lakes across the state under your purview, any of those closed and being rehabbed?
Well, we had Natchez closed. We did some work in Natchez. It's back open. Holmes County is closed right now. We just recently we'll be opening up before too long. Elvis Presley, we had a grand opening for Elvis Presley there, and folks really enjoyed it. And last year we did Simpson. So yeah, we have 20 state lakes across the state, and we try to give every one of them the attention they need. We have a very adequate fish staff of fish biologists there who check them on a regular basis and try to keep them where they need to be.
You what did you do to Natchez? You didn't drain it, did you?
No, we couldn't. We found out that we intended to do it, but we found out we couldn't completely drain it the way it was built, so we took it down as low as we could, and did some work on the piers and the docks and put in some new brush piles and fish attractors and things of that nature, and we had some erosion problems there and some muddy water problems, and we worked to try to correct all that, and we think we got that straightened out and back in business in Natchez for the fishing, and with 6 new cabins there.
Like 6 new cabins?
Not new, refurbished cabins. Refurbished. It's 10 total. All of them are redone.
How about that? Folks, if you're looking for an in-state vacation, you got to go to the website and check it out because it's an incredible value. And, the kids would enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can, in a lot of these places, you can rent a boat too, can you not?
We're not big into renting boats. We've got some kayaks in places and things of that nature.
I meant some kayaks.
We're trying to make that available to folks. We just reopened. I had a grand reopening of Percy Quinn. We're putting Wi-Fi in the parks. We're trying to get Wi-Fi put in Percy Quinn. We've got Wi-Fi and Buccaneer down there, and we've put some tiny homes. We'll start putting tiny homes in the parks. We've started at Buccaneer, and like I say, a lot of good things going on in Mississippi State Parks.
Has Roosevelt opened up yet?
No, we've got Roosevelt. We've started with Roosevelt way back. Put 2 new kind of cabins there for the legislature to take a look at, and the people to take a look at, give us some input on it, and we've kind of used that as a model to spread out across the parks. But right now we're reworking the campground at Roosevelt and the cabins there, and of course when we get into the reworking the cabins, can be a pretty long, drawn out ordeal. So.
When do you guys do a shock test all year long or any particular part of the year?
Usually in the spring and fall, when you do the test on the lakes.
I'm just interested in what Natchez looked like when you started to drain a little bit of that, because that's where the state record comes from.
It is. That's the state record's been a long-standing state record coming out of Natchez State Park.
Yes.
And, we feel like we got a good fishery there. We don't know that there's another record breaker in there, but we feel like it's good fishing there. I
think you got it early spring, late winter.
It was there.
And I believe it's 18. Was it 18?
Something in that vicinity. Was it? I believe it's caught in February. That there. So.
Yeah. Every person who bass fish just sat there and dreamed about that, hitting the lottery. Yeah. And I believe he was on the bank. He pulled that thing in for the bank.
I don't know any details other than it was caught in Natchez and it was a good one.
Well, most bass fishermen who've been here and doing it a long time can tell you about Lake Perry and the world record. And do you know that lake in Georgia? It's not even there anymore. It's filled in.
Yeah.
Where the world record came from. A couple of other things. The Stewardship Fund has been going like gangbusters, and it's just another way to enhance the many opportunities we have in the state.
It is. It's a third round for the Stewardship Trust Fund. It's been funded each year, every year at a different amount, but it's been an adequate amount to do a lot of really good things. We've been very fortunate at the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks. We've had a number of our applications approved. I just approved 17 new ones to turn in to the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund for this season. So we're out there trying to get our hands on the money to where we can get a match for it and get it spent on the state lakes, state parks, just all around. It's doing a lot of good things. Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is.
We had Ricky on several weeks ago, and he was talking about it's been extended as far as the application date. So you folks check it out.
It was set for the 3rd, and they extended the application deadline to the 16th.
One more question to my camouflage friend there. What's duck hunting look like?
We hadn't started to get a lot of duck hunting reports in just yet. It's a little bit early, but duck season will be kicking off November the 28th through December the 1st. That'll be the first little opportunity we give a chance to give our duck hunters an opportunity to get out on the water, and then it'll go December 7th through January the 31st. And, of course, a lot of our duck hunting depends on the weather, as you well know, and our duck hunters know. We get the cold weather early enough, we'll have a good season. If not, it can be tough sometimes.
I know you kind of breezed by the chronic waste disease, but was there anything on that one that we need to know as far as an update?
Well, it's not good. We had like a 51% increase in samples that we took last year. We had 6 new counties come into play. We're trying to follow the science as best we can. We listen to our biologists, and our commission members are listening to the biologists and trying to make informed decisions. And I might mention we do have 2 new commission members, Colin Maloney and Todd Hairston, to go along with Chairman this year, Scott Coopwood, Gary Rose, and Billy Munger. Very dedicated, all of them, to doing the best job they can for the state of Mississippi and MDWFP.
Executive Director Lynn Posey, good report, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Back in the deer stand anytime you need us. Come on back. Camo or no camo, doesn't matter.
Thank you for having us, and see you outdoors, Paul.
Dixon Williams coming up next.
And